Good afternoon and welcome to Crooks, New Hope Park, site of today's matchup between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Tri-Valley Mustangs. I'm Michael Schumacher and this is Vermillion Tanager Softball on Vermillion Tanagers YouTube. Well, we're excited about this matchup. Vermillion 1-3, just coming off their first victory of the season over Sioux Falls Christian. Tri-Valley 6-1 on the season, coming off their first loss to West Central. So this Tri-Valley team, really good. They'll be in all black uniforms with white numbers and white trim and white belts. Vermillion in their red pants with black jerseys, red numbers and letters with white trim. So really looking forward to this. We do have our starting lineups for Tri-Valley. Leading off and playing short, Cadence Davey. Batting second, playing catcher, number 24, Sienna Halverson. Batting third, number 4, pitcher Emery Jones. Batting cleanup, number 9, first baseman Emery Pearson. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 2, Izzy Davey. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 6, Haley Sorensen. Batting seventh and playing center field, number 3, Ava Christensen. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 30, Maddie Huey. And batting ninth and designated player number 22, Reagan Pearson, and the designated position player number 37 in right field, Isabella Wetmore Ocampo. And then for Vermillion, leading off, number 2, third baseman Kristen Moser. Batting second and playing second, number 12, Dylan Wagner. Batting third, shortstop number 9, Madigan Wallen. Batting cleanup, pitcher number 5, Maya Halverson. Batting fifth, number 7, and playing left field, Quinn Christensen. Batting sixth, and playing right field, number 3, Reagan Lee. Batting seventh is Madeline Eisenbeis. She's catching, number 29. Batting eighth, designated player, Emily Reiser, number 14. Number 9, or the ninth batter, number 20, Jenna Peterson. She's playing first base, and then designated position player in center field is Izzy Richardson. All right, so that's a look at your starting lineups. When we come back, we'll be ready for first pitch. We'll take a look at how they got their records. This is Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. This is part of the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show. I'm Michael Schumacher.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners, when you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years for a reason. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
Are you ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanagers softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. This is all part of the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show. I'm Michael Schumacher, and we are broadcasting from New Hope Park in Crooks, South Dakota, home of the Tri-Valley Mustangs. And so we're looking forward to bringing you some good softball today, and excited that you are with us. It's a little cool and crisp out here, but kind of perfect softball weather. And so I mentioned Tri-Valley is 6-1. They started off the season with a win over Lennox, 15-0. They defeated Dakota Valley, a good Dakota Valley team here at Tri-Valley, 9-6. On April 8th, they beat Madison, 18-2. They beat Flandreau, 10-2. On April 10th, on April 11th, they beat Baltic, 20-0. They beat McCook Central Montrose, 16-1 on April 17th, and then fell on April 22nd to West Central by a score of 13-5. Yesterday's game against Del Rapids was postponed. They've had a couple of postponements. They'll also be taking part in the games on Monday as part of the DAC 12 Conference softball tournament. So we'll see what those rankings and seedings end up being, as we will bring that to you as well on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. All right, how did the Tanagers get here? They're 1-3. They fell to Elk Point Jefferson 17-7. To begin the season, they then fell to Lennox by a score of 12-10. They fell to Del Rapids 17-2, and then defeated Sioux Falls Christian earlier this week 7-4. So good win for Vermillion to get under their belt against a Sioux Falls Christian team that's 5-4 on the season. That brings them into this matchup with Tri-Valley, and then again that DAC 12 Conference softball tournament on Monday. So good times coming up for some softball, as we are getting ready to bring you more action here on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. So we'll be covering that game, the games from the Sanford Sports Complex as part of the DAC 12 Conference tournament. And then next week on May 1st, Vermillion will also be playing Alcester Hudson. Then May 5th, they host Yankton. And May 8th, they travel to Madison. And then May 15th, Gayville-Vollen, they host them. Then May 19th, they travel to Hartford to take on West Central. May 22nd, travel to take on Parkston. And May 23rd, travel to take on Dakota Valley. So that's the upcoming schedule for the Vermillion Tanagers. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will have, I believe, first pitch coming up. This is Vermillion Tanager softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, all part of the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women, names like Ariat and Carhartt for men, boots and shoes and kids' clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood. Down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, as we're getting ready for first pitch. Did want to mention, as you look across at the RSS feed, brought to you by Fast Auto Glass. They're normally our halftime sponsor, but there is no halftime, obviously, in softball, so they are our RSS sponsor. We want to thank them. Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion, they are our timeouts. So when there's a visit to the mound, those are brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. All right, so big matchup coming up today. Between the Tanagers and the Mustangs. Vermillion, hoping to get on the right path. They've got a win under their belt now. They'd love to extend that, get a couple more. And so some of the key factors for Vermillion. Obviously, Kristen Moser at the top. She has been playing really well, and both in the field and at bat. Dylan Wagner, a young player, just really learning and feeling her way around out there. Madigan Wallen, who will be playing softball in the next season at Mount Marty, will be an important factor. Maya Halverson, coming off her best pitching performance maybe in a year, honestly, against Sioux Falls Christian. She really had some nice movement, had some good velocity. So Maya Halverson will be important. Quinn Christensen in left field. That's where a lot of hits end up going to left field, and she's been doing a really nice job in fielding those. And then right field as well. Reagan Lee will be playing an important role, because right field, if they go there, if you already have a runner on first, they start running second. It's easy to get to third, maybe even get home. So Reagan Lee's been playing some really good baseball out in right field, and we're excited for that. And then behind the plate, Madeline Eisenbeis, she is constantly getting better. You see the continued improvement from her, and it's exciting because the catcher is so important. They touch pretty much every pitch, unless there's a throw. There's no throwovers or anything like that, so they touch every pitch. And if you find yourself a catcher that doesn't allow too many balls to get past, it does stop a lot of the bleeding when there's a base runner on. And then Jenna Peterson at first base. First base is so underrepresented, so underappreciated sometimes in softball, but she does a really nice job over there. And then designated position player Izzy Richardson does a really nice job out in center field. So defensively, Vermillion has been playing really well this season. And it's exciting to see. And if they're able to get everything to really kind of finally come together, you're going to see the rewards today. And so, but Tri-Valley, they are a good team, and they are led by their pitcher. You heard those scores. Not exactly like they're giving up a ton of runs. And so this is a team that Vermillion definitely wants to get a victory over. It's a conference foe, Class A foe, but they shut out Lennox. They held Dakota Valley to 6 runs. They held Madison to 2 runs. They held Flanger to 2 runs. They shut out Baltic. They held McCook Central Montrose to 1 run. West Central, who is 8-0 on the season, is the only team that's scored in double digits on them. And, West Central is probably the best team in the state, possibly even regardless of class. So, it's going to be tough. Runs are probably going to be at a premium for the Tanagers, so you'll probably see some base running moves, and if Moser can get on and Wagner, there's some good speed there. You'll see the Tanagers try to create some runs, maybe some old Whitey Herzog. So we're excited to see that as we get ready for first pitch here. Coaches have met at home plate. And so we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals are your locally owned and operated ready mix and rental companies available in both Yankton and Vermillion. The Oshkosh front discharge mixers allow for easy placement of concrete, and they're nearly unstoppable. More of a do-it-yourself fan? You can also get all your hand tools, mini excavators, skid steers, aerial lift equipment, and more for any job you need to get done. Choose Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals as your concrete and rental equipment headquarters of Yankton and Vermillion.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality health care, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, Helping families account for their dreams and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Welcome back to New Hope Park as they are announcing the umpires. Don Schumacher, Ron Schmidt. As they are announcing the athletic trainer, and they're announcing the starting lineups. Again, we'll go through that with you. For Vermillion. Batting first, playing third, Kristen Moser. Again, batting second, number 12, second baseman, Dylan Wagner. And then batting third, number 9, shortstop, Madigan Wallen. And then batting cleanup and pitching, number 5, Maya Halverson. Batting fifth, left fielder, number 7, Quinn Christensen. Batting sixth, senior, number 3, right fielder, Reagan Lee. Batting seventh and catching, number 29, Madeline Eisenbeiss. And then batting eighth, designated player, number 14, Emily Reiser. And batting ninth, playing first base, number 20, Jenna Peterson. And then the designated player is center fielder Izzy Richardson. Izzy plays a really good center field, so she is quick out there. And then for your the Tri-Valley Mustangs, leading off and batting shortstop Cadence Davey. Batting second, number 24, catching Sienna Halverson. Batting third, number 4, pitcher Emery Jones. Batting cleanup and playing first base, number 9, Emery Pearson. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 2, Izzy Davey.
Number 2 and playing second base, Izzy Davey.
Batting sixth and playing third base, number 6, Haley Sorensen. Batting seventh and playing center field, number 3, Ava Christensen. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 30, Maddie Huey. And batting ninth, designated hitter, number 22, Reagan Pearson. Playing right field, number 37, Isabella Wetmore Ocampo. So obviously Vermillion is the road team, and we will have the national anthem. And so we will pause for that. That was our national anthem as we get ready to play, and we will always pause for the national anthem, and I always take a moment to remember my veterans in my family, especially my daughter, currently with the National Guard, now down in North Carolina. She moved down to North Carolina last month, so She is with the North Carolina National Guard. My dad, who served during the Vietnam era, Gary Schumacher. My uncle Leroy, who served in the Korean War era. And then my late uncle Dick Harvey and my late uncle George Dyson, who served in the Korean War era as well. All right, well, we're getting ready for some softball, some DAC 12 softball between Tri-Valley and Vermillion. Vermillion looking for their second win. And Tri-Valley looking for win number 7, as they are 6-1 on the season. Vermillion 1-3, coming off that win earlier this week against Sioux Falls Christian. So should be a good matchup. All right, so leading off this inning for the Vermillion Tanagers will be Kristen Moser, followed by Dylan Wagner and Madigan Wallen. Here's the throw down to second as we get ready to play ball. Kristen Moser steps in. Right-handed batter steps into the left side of the plate. Again, Vermillion with those red pants, black jersey, red numbers with white trim and white letters with red trim on the back. Beautiful park here in Crooks. Really enjoy it. And so here comes the first pitch as Emery Jones steps into the circle, looks in, looks at her scorecard, and winds and delivers. First pitch grounded over to second, fielded cleanly over to first. So one pitch, one out here in the top half of the first inning. Well struck by Moser, but still out in a 4-3 putout. So one up, one down, brings up second baseman Dylan Wagner. Now Wagner is a left-handed batter, so steps into the right hand side of the plate as Emery Jones looks in, winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 0-1 on Wagner. Again on deck, shortstop Madigan Wallen. Second pitch swung on and missed. Again, Wagner just a 7th grader on this team. And swing and a miss. So on 3 pitches, Wagner, the 7th grader, goes down swinging. So 2 up, 2 down for Vermillion, or for Tri-Valley, as Vermillion has gone down 2. It's now 2 down. And that brings up Madigan Wallen. Left side of the plate, right-handed batter. Kind of that open stance. Here's the pitch. Lifted into deep left field. Going back, and that is a home run. A home run in the first inning for Madigan Wallen to put Vermillion on the board. So the first pitch to Madigan Wallen lifted out into left field for a home run, putting Vermillion up 1-0 here to lead off the game. So nice job by Madigan Wallen. That brings up Maya Halverson, who now will be taking into the circle in the bottom half of this inning with at least a lead. She'd love to add to it. Emery Jones looks in, winds, delivers. That is in the dirt. 1-0. That's the first ball by Jones. So 1-0 is the count on Maya Halverson. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is also in the dirt. Quickly 2-0. So after such a strong start by Jones to the first 2 batters, Wallen gets a low to the first one and takes it deep into left field for a home run. And then Halverson is now ahead 2-0. That pitch is in for a strike, though. 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on here in the top half of the first. Vermillion now up 1-0 on the back of a home run. There's a hit down the first baseline, and boy, first baseman will field it cleanly and make it in time to get out Maya Halverson. That's Emery Pearson over there, so a grounder to first. But in the inning, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll be back with the bottom half of the first after these messages. This is Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you gotta call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Fuller Digital Solutions started small, but now we're growing as FDS provides live streaming coverage for over 20 schools across 3 different states on our Fuller Digital Solutions YouTube channel. Subscribe to get notified when we go live for your school events. Big events are captured live, and your business can get noticed with advertising during our live streams. Local talent and camera operators are encouraged to contact us too for future employment. No experience necessary. We will train. For information about advertising or working with Fuller Digital Solutions, email us and follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. As we head into the bottom half of the first inning, Vermillion leads Tri-Valley 1-0 on the back of a home run, solo home run by Madigan Wallen. Leading off this inning for Tri-Valley will be shortstop Cadence Davey, catcher Sienna Halverson, and pitcher Emery Jones. Defensively for Vermillion, it's Maya Halverson pitching, Madeline Eisenbeis catching, Jenna Peterson at second, at first, Dylan Wagner at second, Kristen Moser at third, Madigan Wallen at short, Quinn Christensen in left, Izzy Richardson in right, and in center, and Reagan Lee in right. First pitch to Davey is in for a strike, 0-1. And like I said, Maya Halverson coming off her strongest pitching performance in almost a year against Sioux Falls Christian. And that pitch is just a little high, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch is grounded over to Wallen at first. Fielded, but the throw is high. And that goes out of bounds, so over the fence. So that will give Davey second base, so a single. So it's an error on Wallen. So puts a runner at second with nobody out. That brings up Sienna Halverson, the catcher. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. It's in for a second strike, but the runner in Davey does advance to third, so runner in scoring position. So 0-2 with a runner on third, nobody out. That pitch is a little outside, 1-2.
Nice stop, Madeline.
The 1-2 pitch lifted just over the outstretched glove of Madigan Wallen, and that will be a single for Sienna Halverson. And that will score a run, ties it back up 1-1 here in the bottom half of the first inning. That is the first hit of the game for Tri-Valley. Puts a runner at first with nobody down. That brings up Emery Jones, the pitcher. That is high, 1-0. Second pitch is a little bit low, 2-0. So that pitch in for a strike, 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2, evens the count at 2-2. And a throw down to second. They're saying not in time, but boy, that was close. So now a runner at second with 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the bottom half of the first inning. It was a nice throw by Eisenbeis, thought it got there. That one's lifted into center field. Izzy Richardson goes back. Oh, and that is a home run. A home run for Emery Jones. And that makes the score 3-1. That is the second hit of the game for Tri-Valley. Boy, Richardson gave it a try, went back, and thankfully they have that flexible fencing, so it just kind of collapsed on her, but she could not quite reach it. And so that makes the score 3-1 in favor of Tri-Valley. Still nobody down here in the bottom half of the first inning. So that first pitch is a strike, 0-1. Ooh, inside to Emery Pearson, 1-1. That's strike 2, 1-2. So Halverson and Vermillion looking to try to get their first out here in the first inning. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Halverson gets her first out, gets her first strikeout. So now that brings up second baseman Izzy Davey with 1 down, nobody on, with Tri-Valley leading 3-1 here in the bottom half of the first inning. That one's lifted into center left field, just over the head of Madigan Wallen. So that's a single. It's a single for Izzy Davey. That is the third hit of the game for Tri-Valley. Puts a runner on first, and that'll bring up third baseman, number 6, Haley Sorensen. So they've hit a few, honestly, within 5-6 inches of Madigan Wallen's glove. That pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. Ooh, in for a ball, 1-1. That pitch is fouled back just over the fence. Nice catch there by Lee Reddig, showing his athletic side. So makes the count 1-2 on Sorensen. On deck is center fielder Ava Christensen. So with Izzy Davey, Sorensen at the bat. Down behind in the count, 1-2. That pitch is lifted foul over the fence as well. This time to the third base side. So running low on softballs, it seems. They have to get them back in. And so here's Richardson. Halverson winds and delivers, and that is foul. And so that will remain 1-2. Sorensen making some decent contact, just not able to get it into the field of play. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, nobody out here in the bottom half of the first. That pitch is lifted high, foul, and again, out of play. Pretty much in the same spot as the previous one down the third base line. So again, count remains 1-2. So we'll do it again. So Halverson looks in, gets her grip, winds, and delivers. Just a little high, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 out. That pitch is lifted high into shallow, deep, short. Caught there by Wallen. Throw over to first is not in time. Gets past Peterson, though. And so Izzy Davey will advance to second on the error, the throwing error. But on the play, Sorensen is out, so 2 outs in the inning. Runner now at second. Madigan just a little too much on the throw. First pitch to Christensen is fouled off, 0-1. And on deck, Maddie Heavey. So runner on second, 2 down, 0-1 count right now to Ava Christensen. That pitch is lifted high, foul, and right behind the plate again. That's about the 3rd time it's got within that 5-foot radius over there. So 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 down here in the bottom half of the first to Ava Christensen. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So in the inning, 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 1, it's Tri-Valley 3, Vermillion 1. We'll be back with the second inning after these messages on Vermillion Tanagers YouTube. This is Vermillion Tanagers Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands, 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanagers Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That inning timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Leading off this second inning for Vermillion, Quinn Christensen, who gets a hold of that one, but foul down the, pretty much at a right angle to the first baseline. So 0-1 to Christensen, facing Emery Jones. Jones, who provided the pop in the bottom half of the first inning with a home run, a 2-run home run, to give him the second and third runs. But that one is lifted into right field. That is over the head of the right fielder. Christensen rounds first, rounds second. She's going for 3, and it'll be close, and she is in. Quinn Christensen with a triple to start things off here in inning number 2 for the Tanagers. That is their second hit, and that is a leadoff hit, so you already have a runner in scoring position. That brings up right fielder number 3, Reagan Lee. Lee, a left-handed batter with plenty of pop in her bat. See if she can get another run across. That ball, that gets away from the catcher. Christensen does not try to advance, but that is a ball. 1-0 to Reagan. That's a strike. Must have caught the corner. 1-1. Reagan's one of the players I had a chance to interview last year as a earlier during the volleyball season for Tanager Talk. Oh, no. So a called strike 2 and then a throw down to third to get Christensen. That's probably a 7th grader mistake, unfortunately. So it's now 1-2 with 1 down. And that is well outside. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down with nobody on now here in the top half of the second. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So now 2 down here in the top half of the second inning. Vermillion had a runner at third to lead off, but she was picked off. Picked off by a nice throw by Sienna Halverson. So here's Emery Jones facing Madeline Eisenbeiss. Pitch is high. 1-0. It's funny, they have to, and they do. I've seen pretty much every team have to get just reminded that you're supposed to, stay on your own side for batting. And that pitch is low, 2-0. I will say every umpire has a little bit different attitude about it. Some are great, some are kind of not. Mr. Brubeck was good. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Eisenbeiss. On deck, Emily Reiser. 2 down, nobody out. Or 2 down, nobody on. That pitch is high. 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Jones winds and delivers, and that is outside, and Eisenbeiss is aboard via a walk. So there's going to be a courtesy runner for Madeline Eisenbeiss, courtesy runner for the catcher. So we'll see who they send out there. So Emily Emerson, 8th grader, is the courtesy runner. First pitch into Reiser is a strike, 0-1. That's in for a strike, 0-2. Sun's starting to shine here. Clouds are parting just a little bit. Breeze is up. And that pitch catches the outside corner. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base at the end of an inning and a half. It's Vermillion 1, Tri-Valley 3. We'll be back with the Tri-Valley portion of the second inning right after this. Timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Slumberland Furniture in Yankton, the place to shop for your next new mattress. Find brands like Stearns & Foster, Nectar, and the hottest selling mattress, Purple, measured for your comfort and a dream-laden night's sleep. There's the new Adapt by Tempur-Pedic as well. Slumberland Furniture has Flex Steel furniture too, comfy and classy. That's Slumberland Furniture, 2401 Broadway, Yankton. Todd's Electric, your full-service electrical contracting company. Todd's Electric services residential, commercial, agricultural, and industrial customers. From the simplest service call to the most complex design build project, Todd's Electric has the expertise to do it right. Call Todd's Electric for all your electrical needs. Todd's Electric.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball. First pitch from Maya Halverson to Maddie Heavey is a ball, 1-0. So again, 3-1, Tri-Valley leads on the Masaba scoreboard. Swing and a miss, strike 1, 1-1. On deck is Reagan Pearson, and then the top of the order with Cadence Davey. Again, Vermillion in that top half of the second had Quinn Christensen on third, who got picked off by a nice throw from Sienna Halverson. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2. So kind of cut things down in a hurry there, unfortunately. And so and that's a 7th grader mistake. Just a little youthful exuberance. That is a little bit high. Evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to the first batter of inning number 2 for Tri-Valley, Maddie Heavey. That pitch is inside, full count. First full count of the game for Halverson, 3-2. That is in for called strike 3. Nice job by Maya Halverson to get the first out of the inning. So 1 up, 1 down here in inning number 2. That'll bring up designated hitter Reagan Pearson. Pearson, a right-handed batter in the left side of the plate. That is ball 1, 1-0. Now, if you're in the sound of my voice and you are in the Gayville area, just a reminder, the Gayville Volun High School play is at the Dakota Theater tonight. Free will offering. That's in for a strike, 1-1. Tristan Nelson, who helps a lot with some of our camera work, is one of the stage crew. I went to it last night, so if you're available, if you're in the Yankton area, go check out the Gayville Volun play. Night, Roger, swing and a miss, strike 2. Free will offering. Everything goes to the Dakota Theater in maintaining and updating that 125-year-old theater. That pitch is lifted high. That's shallow left field, taken there by Madigan Wallen. So 2 up, 2 down. Nice inning so far for Maya Halverson. That brings up Cadence Davey, who actually reached on an error. She grounded to Madigan Wallen, who fielded cleanly, but the throw was high, went over the fence, and that just ended up leading to those first 3 runs. And then Maya Halverson was really able to settle down. So that first pitch to Davey is in for a ball, 1-0. So Maya looks in, winds, delivers. That's caught there by Madigan Wallen. No throw needed, so Madigan Wallen doing a lot of work that inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 2, it's Tri-Valley 3, Vermillion nothing. We'll be back with the top half of the 3rd inning after this timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Wanting a specialist without leaving town? We've got you covered. Our clinic offers specialists for the health and wellness of your family, from pediatricians to OBGYNs, plus primary care. You can find it all at Vermillion Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
If you're looking for the perfect fit, Vermillion Vision Care Associates fits like the right pair of glasses. Vision Care Associates has its roots in family eye care, and the doctors are well known for being primary eye care providers. With the ability to treat and diagnose a variety of settings, Vermillion Vision Care Associates is the right fit for you. Plus, they can fit you into a new pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contacts that feel just right. With continuing education, see the best doctors at Vermillion Vision Care Associates.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion trails 3-1. I was corrected because I said nothing, so I appreciate the correction. But first pitch to Jenna Peterson, swung on miss, in for a strike, 0-1. That pitch is outside, 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1. Strike 2, 2-2. That pitch is lifted down the right field line, that tailing foul. So the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jenna Peterson. She's the leadoff batter here in the 3rd inning. She'll be followed by Kristen Moser and Dylan Wagner. So here's Emery Jones, looks at her play sheet, winds and delivers. That is low, full count. Now this is Jones's first full count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jones looks in, winds, delivers. Ooh, lifted foul. So we'll do it again. So here's the payoff pitch from Emery Jones to Jenna Peterson. Peterson battling away. Here's the delivery. Inside. That is ball 4. Jenna Peterson. Take your base. So that is the 2nd straight inning where the leadoff batter has gotten aboard. We'll see if Vermillion can take advantage. So is that a courtesy runner? Can't quite tell the number over there. So Jenna Peterson will have a runner in place. But that does bring up Kristen Moser. Moser grounded out to second. First pitch of the game, hard hit pitch. Did a really nice job, but it was fielded cleanly and over to first. So I believe it's Kara Chapman over there, courtesy running. So Moser steps up. Also had the pleasure of interviewing Kristen earlier this school year. First pitch. Oh, it was a foul tip. Squared to bunt, so 0-1. Nice job, though. It was a nice job to get contact. Good movement, though, on that pitch by Jones. It did hit Halverson in the head with a little bit of force. I think they're just checking on her, making sure everything's okay. Making sure she knows the president and what day it is. Meanwhile, Coach Budmeyer walks over to Moser, gives her, talks to her a little bit. All right, so the meeting on the mound breaks up. Moser steps back into the batter's box. Emery Jones steps into the circle. No balls, 1 strike, winds and delivers. That is low and outside, 1-1. So Chapman ready to run it first. At least I think it's Chapman. I think it's an 11. Jones winds and delivers. That's grounded right up the middle. And that was a really nice job. Got to count it as a sacrifice because it did get Chapman over. So now a runner on second with 1 down. That brings up Dylan Wagner. Wagner, left-handed batter. So that is ball 1. Boy, she checked that swing. Woo! All right, so 1-0. They did check with the third base umpire to make sure to see if she swung. And, I mean, she has a lot of forward movement, but that bat did not quite break the plane, I don't believe. Fouls that one off, 1-1. Nice job there by the umpires to converse and to talk about that decision. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Wagner steps back in. Madigan Wallen on deck. Wallen would love to get a hold of another one. She homered in the first inning. Ooh, that pitch catches the outside corner. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 out. So Jones looking to get a second out here this inning. A runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Lifted foul. Count remains 1-2. So Wagner steps back in. A little bit of an open stance. Not quite as open as Madigan's. Here's the pitch. That's lifted down the left field line. Will it drop? No, it will fall foul. That was, if that had stayed fair, I don't believe they would have gotten to it. That would have been a nice play. But as it is, drops foul. Count remains 1-2. Ball 2-2. Nice at bat by Wagner here. She's doing a really nice job laying off of some pitches, fouling others off. We'll see if that results in a hit or some contact to the outfield. Here's the pitch. That is outside, and it gets past the catcher. And Piper, it might be Piper O'Connor. The way she holds her arms, I can't see her number. But the runner is now at third. And the count is full, so 3-2 to Dylan Wagner. That is in for a called strike 3. So that is the second out of the inning. So now with 2 down, brings up shortstop Madigan Wallen. She homered to deep left field in the first inning. On deck is pitcher Maya Halverson. That is low, 1-0. And we'll see if Jones is careful with Wallen here, seeing the power she had in that first inning. Again, Wallen will be playing at Mount Marty next season. That pitch lifted deep into right field, trying to camp underneath and cannot get it. That will score a run. And that Madigan's going for 3, and she will be in with a triple. So that is a triple for Madigan Wallen. So she has the 2 hardest parts of the cycle done. And Piper O'Connor comes across for as the courtesy runner for Jenna Peterson, making it 3-2. And that'll bring up pitcher Maya Halverson. So Vermillion hanging in there today. Swing and a miss by Halverson, 0-1. That's in for a strike, 0-2. We're here in the top half of the third inning. Vermillion has now cut that lead down to 3-2. 2 down, runner on third in the form of Madigan Wallen. 0-2 count to Maya Halverson. Jones looks at that pitch sheet. Winds, delivers, swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout for Jones. But in the inning, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 2.5, it is now Tri-Valley 3, Vermillion 2. We'll be back with the bottom half of the third inning after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters. This time out brought to you by Murph's Appliance, and Tanager Softball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new home for your family, you want to sell your existing home, or you're a student looking to rent an apartment, Dakota Realty and Property Management can fit your needs. Being locally owned and with over 150 years of combined experience, they are the experts at helping you find your new home. Go to Dakota Realty and Property Management because they like what they do. Dakota Realty is a proud supporter of Vermillion Athletics. Dakota Realty and Property Management, located at 125 East Cherry Street, Vermillion.
Remember the Perks card from Pump and Pack? Well, guess what? There's an addition, not just a card, it's an app. The Pump and Perks app and the Pump and Perks card from Pump and Pack, Vermillion. Just go to their Facebook page, Pump and Pack, and scan the QR code and you're in. Or go to the store, Pump and Pack, and get the card. Then download the app. Each one does the same thing. Like give you 5 cents off per gallon every day, except for Sunday, it's doubled with the Perks card from Pump and Pack, Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanagers Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That timeout was brought to you by Murph's Appliance. Here's the first pitch of the bottom half of the third. to Sienna Halverson. That is in for a strike. Maya Halverson really pitching well. Sioux Falls Christian game, a nice game for her. Really, so far, a good game here as well. That one is high, and I tell you, I cannot not move my head to avoid pitches when they come back or foul balls. Still in my nature. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sienna Halverson. Halverson singled her first time up and scored the second run of the game for Tri-Valley. That one's right back to Halverson. Halverson makes the play on it. No throw needed. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the third inning. In what to this point I think might be Vermillion's best game of the season. Sioux Falls Christian, I know it was a win, but I think they're just really competitive against a really good Tri-Valley team at 6-1. First pitch from Halverson to Emery Jones is a ball, 1-0. I mean, it just feels like Vermillion's at-bats are really competitive. Maya is attacking the hitters. That pitch is fouled off, out of play, makes it 1-1. And honestly, Madigan made a couple of errors that kind of led to some of those runs. So otherwise, but defensively, she's been good. Everyone's been good out there. I feel like this might be Vermillion's coming out party. That pitch is a little bit low in the dirt, 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball is chopped foul. Count remains 2-2. So on deck is first baseman Emery Pearson. That pitch grounded down to Moser at third. Cannot get the throw over in time. But Jones has good speed. I'm not gonna call that an error. I think even fielded cleanly, that is a hard get over there from deep at third base. So that is a single for Emery Jones, the 4th hit of the game. And that'll put a runner on first with 1 down, brings up first baseman Emery Pearson. Here's the throw down to second. Oh, not quite in time. It was kind of on the third base side of second. Maybe if it had been more towards the second base side, they could have gotten her. But so she is now at second, eliminating the double play. That pitch was ruled a ball, so 1-0. That ball grounded down the third base line. Foul. Makes the count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom half of the third inning. Across our streaming platforms, that pitch just gets away from Eisenbeiss. We do have Gayville-Vollen Raiders YouTube. Gage Ravelette calling Lennox and Gayville-Vollen. That game started about 15 minutes ago. And then tonight, starting at 6 o'clock, Yankton versus Sioux Falls Lincoln. That'll be on Yankton Streaming. That'll be Zach Spear. That one's lifted into left field, and that will be an RBI single for Emery Pearson. So that makes the score 4-2 in favor of Tri-Valley now here in the bottom half of the third on the support of their 5th hit. So that'll bring up Izzy Davey, the second baseman. She reached on an error in the first inning. That pitch is lifted high, foul, but that will be out of play. So count is 0-1. On deck, third baseman Haley Sorensen. On a personal note, if you're Catholic or just like Catholic services, I will be singing the Divine Mercy Chaplet at Sacred Heart on Sunday in Yankton at 3 o'clock. I'd love to see you there. That's my favorite thing. Honestly, the Divine Mercy Chaplet, one of my favorite things. So about a 30-minute quote-unquote service. So that pitch is high, so it's 1-1. Ooh, high and inside. Little chin music, as they used to say. Pedro Martinez there. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 down here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Halverson looks in, winds, and delivers. Ooh, I thought she was going to get her to bite. She almost pulled the trigger on the swing. But she did not. Count went a little high, or the ball went a little high. 3-1 is the count. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom half of the 3rd. And that will be ball 4. So now you have runners at first and second. So runners at first and second with 1 down. That brings up Haley Sorensen, who flew out to shortstop in the 1st inning. There's going to be a meeting on the mound, so we're going to take a quick timeout. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion trails 4-2. This is Tanager Softball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer. Murph's Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball after that Murph's Appliance timeout. First pitch to Haley Sorensen is in the dirt, 1-0. So the score is 4-2 on the Masaba scoreboard. Vermillion trails here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Runners at first and second, 1 down. And that pitch is lifted right under the glove of Madigan Wallen. 1 run will score. And they'll have runners at the corners. It is now 5-2 in favor of Tri-Valley with runners at first and third on that single by Haley Sorensen. So that brings up center fielder Ava Christensen. She struck out swinging to end the 1st. Pitch is high. A little bit high, but Sorensen will make it down to second, eliminating the double play. So 1-0 is the count. So now runners at second and third with 1 down. 5-2 lead for Tri-Valley. That pitch is fouled off and takes down Eisenbeis for a moment. She looks a little shaken up. Might have been on that. I'm not sure if it hit her hand, but she is shaken up just a little bit. So we're taking a little bit of a timeout on that. That is 1-1. So we're going to take a quick timeout while they tend to Madeline. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, baby, I got a great idea for your next commercial. You're in a jungle with a dinosaur, looking for an outlet for your vacuum.
Dinosaur? No, I said Intech has over 30 years of commercial cleaning. You know, like office buildings, ensuring happy visitors and a healthy workforce.
Commercial buildings? I think I can work with that, Jerry. I'm gonna make you a star.
Oh my goodness. When you need it clean, call the Intech team.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That timeout for the injury was brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. You can see they're doing a few warm-up tosses. Madeline Eisenbeis just trying to make sure she's loose. And so Ava Christensen will step back in. She's even on the count, 1-1. 1 down with runners on second and third. Maya Halverson steps back into the circle. Pitch is lifted high, foul, and backing out of play. Hits a white truck, but it was not our white truck, so we're okay with that. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. So, Jeff, if you're listening, I parked far enough away that they're going to have a tough time getting to it. That is in for a called strike 3. So that is an important second out. So 2 down now in the inning. And that brings up Maddie Heavey, the left fielder. She struck out looking to begin the second inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. Another swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. Heavey took Maya to a full count before striking out looking in the top half of the second, or the bottom half of the second. She was the leadoff batter. That pitch is in the dirt. Oh, and the throw gets away from Eisenbeis, and 2 runs score as the throw from Eisenbeis got away from Halverson. So Davey scores. Sorensen comes around to score, and it's now 1-2 for a count, and the score is now 7-2 in favor of Tri-Valley. So that will be a throwing error. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, now nobody on. 7-2 Tri-Valley leads on the Mesaba scoreboard. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Dropped by Eisenbeis, but the throw down to first is in time. So in the inning, 4 runs. 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, nobody left on base. At the end of 3, it's Tri-Valley 7. Vermillion 2 will be back with the 4th inning after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Mesaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at mesabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Mesaba.
Mesaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in South Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the SDHSAA.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball. The first pitch to Quinn Christensen is a ball, 1-0. Christensen with that leadoff triple in the second inning. Unfortunately caught off of third with a pickoff play. Swing and a miss, strike 1, 1-1. So Vermillion now trailing 7-2 on the Mesaba scoreboard here in the top half of the 4th inning. As Emery Jones winds and delivers, that is ball 2, 2-1. So again, this is Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. If you're watching, obviously you found the new channel. And if you did, tell your family, tell your friends. Make sure you click that bell button. That ball lifted down the right field line. That will be foul, but will it be out of play? Yes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter here as Quinn Christensen comes back, gets the bat. That pitch is high, full count. And that is a walk. So now a runner on first, brings up Reagan Lee. Reagan has pop in her bat, so see if she can get Christensen around, get her at least to third. That pitch is a little outside, and 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike one, 1-1. That is in for a strike. 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner on first in the form of Quinn Christensen. That pitch lifted high, foul, and out of play. Count remains 1-2. So here's the pitch from Jones. Ooh, swing and a miss for strike 3. So good at bat for Lee, but ends up striking out. So for the first out of the inning, that'll bring up catcher Madeline Eisenbeis. Eisenbeis shaken up in the top half of the 4th inning, or the bottom half of the 3rd inning, sorry. She walked her first time up in the 2nd inning. That pitch gets past the catcher, and Quinn Christensen makes it down to second, so ball 1, and the runner advances to second base. So count is 1-0 now. That ball grounded down the first baseline, fielded cleanly. They do get the first out. You can call it a sacrifice, I believe. And Christensen now at third. So runner at third, but 2 down here in the top half of the 4th. We'll see if Vermillion can get a run across as they currently trail 7-2. So that brings up Emily Reiser. Emily struck out looking in the 2nd inning. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. So Quinn Christensen on third for the 2nd time today. That pitch fouled off into the melon of Sienna Halverson, 0-2. It's about the 2nd or 3rd time that she's taken a tough foul ball right off the helmet. So 0-2, 2 down with the runner on third. That pitch fouled off down the first baseline. Reiser lives to fight another day here. Temperature's taking a little bit of a dip here. That is ball 1, 1-2. That's a strikeout, but there's the throw down to first. So runner stranded at third in the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 3.5, it's Tri-Valley 7, Vermillion 2. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 4th inning after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters. This is Tanagers Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. This time out brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion.
At Voyage Federal Credit Union, we believe in giving back to the community that supports us. That's why our employees make it a priority to volunteer their time and talents to make a difference. Whether it's improving local causes, fighting hunger, or supporting our local zoo, our team is dedicated to making a positive impact in the lives of those around us. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a part of the community, working together to make it a better place for everyone. Your community, your credit union. Voyage Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanagers softball as we head into the bottom half of the fourth inning. Vermillion trails 7-2 as Halverson steps into the circle. Leading off this inning for Tri-Valley will be Reagan Pearson, followed by Cadence Davey and Sienna Halverson. First pitch to Pearson is a ball, 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike one, 1-1. Pitch is low, 2-1 to Reagan Pearson. So 3-1. Here's the pitch from Maya. Pitch is lifted down the first baseline, but that is foul, so full count, 3-2.
One more, Maya.
So here's the payoff pitch. That is called ball 4. So Pearson is aboard via a walk. So runner on first now with nobody on, or nobody down. So she's going to have her flex run. All right, so Isabella Wetmore Ocampo is entering the game as the runner for Pearson, and it sounds like she is now entering the game for Pearson. So count is 2-0 to Cadence Davey. It's now 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes. Davey is 0 for 2 with 1 run scored. Here's the pitch from Halverson as they look at the bunt, and that is ball 4. So now Davey is on. So Wetmore Ocampo is now on second. Cadence Davey is on first. Nobody out here in the fourth inning. Vermillion trailing 7-2. And Sienna Halverson is now up, and that is, ball gets past Eisenbeis. So ball 1, and the runners advance. So now runners at second and third with nobody out. And the count is 1-0. On deck is pitcher Emery Jones. That pitch laced down the left field line, but that is foul. So 1-1 is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on. That pitch is lifted down the left field line. That will be foul. And that makes the count 1-2. That pitch is lifted into left field, and that gets past Christensen. 2 runs will score, and Sienna Halverson will be on second. So 9-2 Tri-Valley leads on the 7th hit of the game for the Mustangs. And this will be a timeout. We might have a pitching change, but we'll be back. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. On the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion trails 9-2. We'll be back. This is Tanager Softball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Jordan Kirkman here from downtown Vermillion's American Family Insurance Office. We love being part of the community and want to help with your insurance needs. So stop in today and see me, Jordan Kirkman, sales specialist with Buchelman & Associates, located at 112 West Main Street, or call 605-624-2025. And if you're in Yankton, be sure to stop by our new office there as well. Go Tanagers and go Yotes.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
For over 40 years, your local heating and cooling contractor has been Larry's Heating and Cooling. How did they stay in business that long? The customers know they stand behind their work. They offer top quality name brand equipment, and no one matches Larry's pricing when compared to the other local Lennox dealers based in Iowa. Larry's is $2,000 less for the same equipment. Not a Larry's customer? When you're ready to upgrade, trust Larry's. Honest prices, no gimmicks, and reliable service. Larry's Heating and Cooling, Yankton and Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball from New Hope Park in Crooks, South Dakota. Vermillion trails 9-2 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Dylan Wagner has come in to pitch. Maya Halverson has taken her place at second. And the first pitch from Wagner to Emery Jones is high, 1-0. Jones homered in the first inning for a 2-run home run. She singled in the third. Runner on second right now in the form of Sienna Halverson. And she's currently ahead in the count, 2-0. So Wagner in the circle, the 7th grader winds and delivers. And is quickly 3-0 to Emery Jones. And that is a 4-pitch walk to Jones. So that puts runners at first and second now. And that brings up first baseman Emery Pearson. Pitch is high and outside, 1-0. So Wagner comes in. She has thrown 5 straight balls. You just kind of hope as a 7th grader, maybe she just needs to get centered a little bit. That's in for a strike, 1-1. And that is high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runners on first and second here in the bottom half of the 4th. Vermillion trails 9-2 to Tri-Valley. And that is high. 3-1. That's in for a strike. It's a full count, 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Again, Dylan Wagner now pitching, facing her second batter. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So that is her first strikeout. I think it's her first strikeout. I haven't seen her pitch yet this season, so that's the first out of the inning. keeps runners at first and second, brings up Izzy Davy. Davy is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. First pitch to Davy is a ball, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. So Wagner looks in, gets that shine ball going. The pitch is high, 3-0. Wagner, a very quick worker out there. No rest for the wicked when she's out there. She's already back in the circle, looking in, winds and delivers. That's in for a strike, 3-1. And that is ball 4. So that is the 4th walk of the inning, and that has walked the bases full. As you now have Sienna Halverson at third, Emery Jones at second, and Izzy Davy at first. So the first pitch to Haley Sorensen is high, ball 1, 1-0. That's in for a strike, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That's in for a strike, 1-2 to Haley Sorensen. On deck is center fielder Ava Christensen. One-two pitch. Chopped right up the middle. They'll get the force at home, so they do get the lead runner. So Sorensen reaches via fielder's choice. No harm yet to the Tanagers as they do get the lead runner for the second out of the inning. So now with 2 down and the bases loaded, that brings up center fielder Ava Christensen. Christensen struck out looking in the third and swinging in the first. So that first pitch is a ball, 1-0. That pitch is lifted high, foul, and out of play. Hits that same white truck that's not ours, Jeff. Don't worry. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So again, Dylan Wagner now in at pitching. And that pitch is lifted high, foul, and out of play. Moves the count to 1-2. So we're waiting on some softballs. So we're getting a softball in, gets it over to Eisenbeis, gets it over to the umpire. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 down. Dylan Wagner in the circle, winds and delivers, and that is high. Nice save by Eisenbeis, though. And it's now even. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 3 on, 2 down to Ava Christensen. As Wagner looks in. Ooh, so everything hinges on this one. Everything is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 3 on, 2 out. Here in the bottom half of the 4th, Vermillion trails 9-2. Wagner looks in from the circle, winds, and delivers. That is in for a called strike 3. And once Wagner settled down, things went much, much smoother. But in the inning, they do score 2 runs. 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, 3 runners left on base. After 4 innings, it's Tri-Valley 9, Vermillion 2. We'll be back with the 5th inning after these messages. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
At Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion, they believe a healthy smile opens doors. From routine checkups to cosmetic treatment, their friendly team is there to make your dental experience comfortable and enjoyable. With state-of-the-art technology and a compassionate approach, they ensure your visit is quick and pain-free.
I love my new smile. Thank you, Knutson Family Dentistry.
Knutson Family Dentistry will make your smile shine. Call and schedule your appointment today at Knutson Family Dentistry and discover the difference your smile can make.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. As Cadence Davey has moved from short, she's now pitching. Haley Sorensen has moved from third, and she is now catching. Emery Jones looks like she has moved to shortstop, or to third. And Izzy Davey has moved from second to short, and it does appear that Sienna Halverson has moved to second. So Jenna Peterson is up now for the Tanagers here in the top half of the 5th inning. First pitch was a strike. Second one just a little high. So counts 1-1 on Jenna Peterson. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Jenna Peterson. First leadoff batter here in inning number 5. Vermillion trails by 7. As Cadence Davey pitches, winds, delivers, and that is high. Ball 3, 3-2. So full count to Jenna Peterson. And that is ball 4 as Jenna Peterson is now aboard via a walk, her second walk of the day. Last time in the 3rd inning, she came around and scored. So see if Vermillion can take advantage. Currently down 7. Kristen Moser steps up. She is 0 for 1 with the sacrifice. First pitch to Moser is a strike. And that is grounded down the third baseline. Moser has speed, and that will put runners at first and second. So that is a single for Kristen Moser. Gets Jenna Peterson over to second. So Vermillion getting a rally going here in the 5th inning, down 7. Brings up Dylan Wagner, the new pitcher. Dylan has struck out twice, once swinging, once looking, and she offers at that in a bunt attempt, and that is strike 1, 0-1. That is high over the over the catcher, and so runners advance on ball 1, 1-1. So now runners at second and third. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 1-2. And that is strike 3. So Wagner down on strikes for the 3rd time today. So that brings up shortstop Madigan. Wallen homered to lead off the game for Vermillion. Well, in the 1st inning for Vermillion and tripled in the 3rd. She'd love to get one of those again. That pitch is just high, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0 to Madigan Wallen. So Cadence Davey looks in. Behind in the count, 2-0. That's in for a strike, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 on, 1 out. Here in the top half of the 5th inning, Vermillion trailing by 7. That pitch is high, 3-2. Or 3-1, sorry. 3 balls, 1 strike to Wallen. Wallen again with a triple and a home run today. 1 run scored, 1 RBI. Actually, 2 RBI. That is ball 4, so that loads the bases. So now, with 1 down and the bases loaded, that brings up Maya Halverson. Maya has grounded to first and struck out. She would love to get something in across for this team here. On deck is left fielder, number 7, Quinn Christensen. That is inside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Davey. Lifted into right field. That's dropping. That'll drop. Now Wallen had to go back to first. Oh, and they are going to get Moser in a rundown. Will they get her? And so Moser is caught in a pickle. So she'll be caught trying to round third, trying to make it home. Jenna Peterson did score, making it 9-3. On that single by Halverson. So Halverson at first, Wallen at second. Now with 2 down in the inning. And that'll bring up Quinn Christensen. That'll probably be that's twice along that 3rd baseline. I'm sure that's something that Coach Budmeyer's going to want to talk about. Just a learning experience. That's in for a strike. 0-1 on Quinn Christensen. Reagan Lee is on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2.
That's all right. Now you're ready. Here we go.
So Vermillion now trails 9-3. That is inside, 1-2. So Christensen tripled in the second and walked in the fourth, so she is 1 for 1. Gotten to third base twice, has not made it home. That ball chopped, foul. Keeps it 1-2. As the sun is out, but it's still a little brisk out here. And that is in for a called strike 3 on Quinn Christensen. So in the inning, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base at the end of 4.5. Vermillion trails on the Mesaba scoreboard 9-3. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 5th inning after these messages. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners, when you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years for a reason. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
Are you ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance. On the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion trails 9-3 as Dylan Wagner starts her 2nd inning of work. And batting for Maddie Heavey, number 22, the designated player, has returned. So Maddie Heavey and Reagan Pearson batting. And then Cadence Davey, the new pitcher, will be the 3rd batter this inning, facing Dylan Wagner. Wagner, once she got her rhythm, performed pretty well out there. Oh, that is inside. 1-0. Heavey struck out looking in the 2nd and swinging in the 3rd. And that ball is in the dirt, 2-0. Now, obviously, if Tri-Valley scores 4 runs this inning, that does become the mercy rule or the run rule. That ball is off for that, 2-1. As the breeze is starting to pick up just a little bit. And Heavey will head down to first after getting walked. So that puts a runner on. And that will bring up designated player Reagan Pearson. And here's the throw down to second, and that will not be in time. So Heavey now on second. Pearson took ball 1, 1-0. That is high, 2-0, and that gets past Eisenbeis, so Heavey makes it down to 3rd. And that does hit Pearson. So hit by a pitch. So runners now at first and third. With nobody out, that'll bring up the top of the order and Cadence Davy. Davy walked her last time up.
Let's go, Dylan. You've got it. Here we go.
So Wagner steps in. The walk and a hit by a pitch so far this inning. That one bounces in front of the plate. 1-0. On deck, Sienna Halverson. That is inside, 2-0. So Davey is now the pitcher, starting shortstop. That one is high, 3-0. So here's the 3-0 pitch. That is high, ball 4. So now bases are loaded. So bases are loaded. And that pitch is fouled off. So Keegan Cookta is now batting for Sienna Halverson. And that is right back up front. And they are not going to get anybody. So that was a hot shot back to the pitcher. And Dylan could not quite contain it. So that is going to be a single. And that will score a run, making it 10-3 with no outs. And the first pitch coming into Emery Jones is a ball, 1-0. Jones now playing third base. That pitch inside, 2-0. And that is high, 3-0. So again, on deck is Emery Pearson. Nope, not Emery Pearson. And that's in for a strike. As it looks like Peyton Vogt is the next batter. So here's the swing and a miss. 2-2. 3-2. Full count to Emery Jones. Bases loaded. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. That ball chopped right back up the middle. Here's the throw home. And she does get the lead runner. So by a fielder's choice, Jones is aboard. Runners at all bases. But Reagan Pearson was cut down at home. So now one down. That brings up Emery Pearson. That ball is pitched low, 1-0. Pearson struck out, singled and struck out. That pitch is high, 2-0. Back on, so I know you missed me, but there's a walk, and that walk will score run number 11. So that was a walk to Emery Pearson. As yes, the power did go out for Tri-Valley's announcers as well. That ball chopped foul by Izzy Davies, so 0-1. Power's been an issue. Gage Ravelette lost power in Gayville Vollen as well earlier today, so And we are back yet again after another little power glitch of whatever. So bases loaded. Score is 11-3. 1 down, or 2 down. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch is lifted foul, but Izzy Davy, that is 1-2 now. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dylan Wagner with the pitch. That pitch lifted into deep right center field. That will reach the fence, and that will score 2 runs. That'll score 3 runs, and that will be the ball game. On the double. So that is a double by Izzy Davy, and that will do it. As Vermillion will fall by a score of 14-3. So Tri-Valley moves to 7-1. Vermillion falls to 1-4. We'll see if Coach Budmeyer steps up here, and if not, no worries. But otherwise, we'll take a quick break as that is the final. And we'll be right back after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters. Again, Vermillion falls 14-3. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women, names like Ariat and Carhartt for men, boots and shoes and kids clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop.